Alright, hello and welcome to everyone today. My guest is Clay Burns. Clay, can you please say a few words, few sentences about yourself for the introduction so we can continue?
My name's Clay Burns. Fight name's Third Degree. I'm a former Marine and originally Louisiana native. And I started in the fight game kind of late because I didn't start competing, I guess, until I was about 20 after the Marines. But I love it and I love combat sports, and that's why I'm here on the interview right now.
So you kicked off at the age of 20 or you kicked off earlier with the world of mixed martial arts or martial arts at all?
Really, I never went. I'm from a small town, so we didn't have wrestling in high school, so I didn't actually get to be around other wrestlers or grappling until I was in the Marines, and after high school. And when you're in Marines, you you get a wide variety of people from all over the nation, and there's a lot of great talent out there that's doing wrestling in high school and college and whatnot.
So which is your fundamental martial art? Do you have one or
I'm a freestyle kind of fighter, so I'm not great anywhere in one aspect of the fight game. I think I'm above average when it comes to everything. As in, I got a lot of heart, I got a great chin, and my cardio's, it's always been good. So that's a big aspect of the fight game is conditioning and heart and desire.
Yeah, I've noticed your cardio. We will discuss that later. Can you now please tell the origin of your nickname?
Third degree. I don't know. Maybe because this sounds good with Burns, but Texas, Louisiana is called the Third Coast, the Gulf of Mexico, and I grew up on Third Street, so I guess it kind of just went in with that. And I'm from the 318, so therefore just three stuck. It was a good. It went together well.
Yeah, it's a great moniker, gotta say. Which is your favorite strike? Do you have one?
Coming up younger, I always felt as if my left hook was good, my powerful punch. But now with my age and injuries, I've had the Peyton Manning fusion on my neck. I had a injury just doing grappling and pushing myself to the breaking point years ago, and had to have a neck fusion. So therefore, I don't feel my left arm's as good as my right. So I think my right overhand is probably my best shot.
How did injuries affect your career?
Well, I go to the doctors. We got to go all the time for physicals and blood work, and anytime I get sick, I go to the doctors and they ask me my profession. I tell them, well, I'm a pro fighter, and they look at my X-rays, or they see my history of injuries, and they always tell me I need to give it up, or I need to find a day job or a paper job, a desk job. But I'm gonna be kind of like a Tank Abbott, Randy Couture, Bernard Hopkins kind of fighter. I'm gonna be fighting until I can't do it no more.
That's awesome to hear. Can you discuss your amateur MMA career, your amateur MMA fights?
Yeah, as an amateur, you're only good as the people you fight. And I first started off at 5-0, fighting kind of uh, beginners and stuff like that. But I never been really submitted, or I never been finished. So I was 10-10 as an amateur mixed martial artist, and I felt as this competing as a mixed martial artist, it helped me take them hard blows like kicks and knees. So it kind of helped me with a mental toughness as when I switched over to the boxing. And as being a boxer, I feel as it helps me in MMA as just being good as in the ring control, and able to, the more you fight as an amateur, it don't matter if you win, you lose, disqualification, or anything. It's just you're there to get the experience, and that stuff's priceless. You can't pay for experience.
How did you professional MMA fights? How many of them did you have?
Just two. I was 2-0 when I went pro first in mixed martial arts. I fought under Rich Clemente with his promotions, No Love Entertainment, and him being a pro fighter coming up in the rankings. As he did fought in China, and he fought for Bellator, fought for UFC. And when he was a promoter, he knew how much fighters put into it. You know what I'm saying? We put everything into it. We lived the lifestyle, and therefore he kind of took care of us as in the purse wise. You know, MMA, you're only guaranteed like to the money to fight. To win, you get double the money. So his purses were better than the other people's. But I fought on his last show, and then he kind of put it up. So therefore, I wasn't getting any offers but 500 to fight and 500 to win. So that's kind of why I stopped doing the mixed martial arts or cage fighting, because you weren't getting paid much. You know, even if I was saying, I tell people, my body felt worse after winning my cage fights compared to losing my boxing matches. You know what I'm saying? Because it's more bone on bone. You know what I'm saying? If I knee you in the head or I kick you in the body, it's going to hurt your head or it's going to hurt your body, but it's going to hurt my knee. It's going to hurt my leg. You know what I'm saying? The bones. Uh, that's why I feel like that's why I went to boxing, because you know I'm getting paid $1,000 a round now compared to MMA. You're only getting 500 just to fight. You know, you're not guaranteed the other 500.
Yeah, I understand. So you described why you transitioned to the world of boxing. Can you talk about your bare knuckle fight against Burnett Jr.? He was my guest too.
Yeah, Reggie. I knew me and Reggie had similar backgrounds. You know, we're around the same age. Our body statures are the same. He's from the East Coast, and honestly, I took the bare knuckle fight because I'd moved to Texas to trying to get around more pros, but I was almost inactive for like 16 months because I couldn't get any good offers for cage fighting. I couldn't get offers for boxing or anything. So David Feldman called me up and he was like, "Hey, I got a fight for you," and that was a debut. He paid me 2,500. So I said, "Yeah, I don't care who it is, 2,500 for a debut. I'm down to fight." And me and
Whoa.
Reggie had a real good fight, but it could have went either way in my opinion. It was kind of on the fences. It was definitely the best fight of the night. Um, but I had a lot of ring rust. You could tell, like my distancing, my timing, and I'm the type of fighter. It's either I'm gonna get you or get got. I'm not trying to win the fight by points. I'm trying to knock you out, and I'm trying to please the crowd. You know what I'm saying? I'm there to entertain. So I'm always looking to have a start to finish bang out fight. You know what I'm saying? That's what I love to do.
That's the point when I wanted to ask you about your cardio. Watching the match between you and Reggie, you were throwing shots all the time, and I was like, wait, are these guys really fighting? Are they robots? So I was thinking that for a moment. You were trading shots all the time. It was an amazing match. And both you and him were trading all the time. You were not sparing each other, if you know what I mean.
Right, right. I mean, like I said, that was me getting out of my comfort zone. You know, you don't have the gloves, and you're not in the ring, you're not in a cage. It's kind of a hybrid cage, but we kind of were a swing bout for that. That's what sucks about the difference between training in the gym and competing in front of the lights, in front of the crowds on big shows. Is sometimes people in the gym they're awesome. They never make mistakes, but once they fight, they're not as awesome, and everything they do is a mistake. But some people are the other way around. They don't train good in the gym, but when they get in front of the lights, it's a mental aspect of the game. You have to get comfortable in any situation and be ready for anything. But I feel like sometimes, just that walkout. As soon as you're walking out, they call your name to walk out. If when the way you feel right then and there is how the fight's going to go throughout the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Like if you feel good walking out, you look good, feel good, you're gonna fight good. But sometimes, like I've had a couple of fights where they didn't play my walkout song, or uh, they cut it off before the chorus would even get started. So it's kind of like they're messing with your vibe a little bit. They're kind of getting you off tempo.
I didn't pay much attention in bare knuckle fighting championship to that aspect about walkout song. I know in MMA there is always a walkout song. How is the situation in bare knuckle about that aspect? And the second question, what is the major difference for you as a boxer between boxing and bare knuckle when you compare boxing and bare knuckle fight?
Well, bare knuckles, you're gonna cut up easier. Um, the boxing, like what you had the animal on here, you did an interview with him. He's telling you there's an inch of padding, and that inch of padding makes fighting's a sport within centimeters and inches. Every little bit helps you. So when you got the gloves on, you got a little bit more protection. You can kind of stop punches from coming through your guard a little easier, rather than bare knuckles. After my bare knuckle fight, the thing that hurt it on me the most were my hands. So, as an aspect of bare knuckles, you can't try to knock the guy out with every punch. You kind of just gotta pop him. So I think that's where I kind of messed up in the bare knuckles, where I was swinging for the fences every shot. But you're saying what a loss is, it's a learning experience.
Yeah, I get you. Can you discuss your boxing debut, but pro boxing debut? How was it?
Well, like I said, I lived in Louisiana coming up, and after the Marines, I started doing the amateur fighting from 2010 to I think 2014. I probably had around 60 fights as an amateur. I did 40 boxing, and I did 20 as a MMA. And through the promoter I was talking to for boxing, he's always telling me, "Oh, you're not ready, you're not ready, you're not ready." But then he gave me a phone call one time, like 2 weeks away from the fight. He's like, "You want to fight?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've been waiting for a year." And I actually fought a guy. He had a draw his first fight. His name Renard Oliver out of New Orleans, which he has a decent career, record now. And me and Renard, like I said, that was probably my first boxing match in 2 years when I did have my debut. So I rocked him the third round, and my MMA took over, and I was looking for the takedown. After I rocked him, I gave him the stanky legs. I was looking for the takedown, so I backed up off of him. But like I said, I got paid more for that fight than I did any of my MMA fights.
Now let's look at your whole boxing career. Which was the toughest opponent you met, and which is the best victory you have?
Well, I said you're only good as the people you fight. I fought the likes of Devin Haney. He was trained by Floyd Mayweather Sr., and I took him on a 7-day notice. And I wasn't ready when I fought Devin. I was doing construction. I was working on the roof when I got the phone call. And I got the phone call. I was working on the roof. They said, "Hey, you want to fight this kid? He's just making 18, and we'll fight him in Baton Rouge next weekend for $6,000. Well, I'm getting paid by the hour roofing. I told my boss, I said, "I got to quit. I can make my money next week." So I jumped off the roof and started cutting 12 pounds within a week. And I was in construction strength. You know what I'm saying? I was construction strong. I wasn't boxer ready. I wasn't sparring. I wasn't in the gym, and I was really partying. I was just there for the paycheck. But I think I did fairly well with that, just because of my mentality of that fight. I'm never gonna let a guy finish me or put me down. I fought the likes of Hector Tejada Jr., trained by Robert Garcia, and I would say either him or Robin Conceição, the Golden Olympian from Rio, were probably the best fighters I fought. Just their ring control, their timing, their distance, and how they pick their shots. I think they're when I'm losing against these high-ranked guys, it's usually because they're taller, and with a shorter fighter fighting a tall guy, the only way you can beat them is get on the inside and rough them up. So you got to learn how to brawl a boxer and box a brawler. And I got outboxed by them guys. I always say they might outbox me, but they're not gonna beat me up. If it was a street fight, no holds bars, I guarantee I'd beat all of them. I fought Vladimir Nicotine, on Top Rank in Vegas, and I had him bloodied the first round. Second round, he was bloodied up, and I feel like I won 4 out of them 6 rounds. But he signed by Top Rank, and that's kind of where politics come into play in fighting. And I lost it by decision. Yeah, I was fighting Nicotine. Like I said, I'd moved to Texas, and I fought Nicotine after Reggie. And like I said, when I did the bare knuckle, that got the ball rolling again for me. So it kind of put me back in the limelight of fighting, and I started getting better offers and calls from other promotions and whatnot. But I felt great for that fight when I fought Nicotine. I only had really 4 weeks to train for it, but after that fight, he was the one that had to go in the ambulance to go to the hospital, and I was fine after that fight. But I'm still looking. I like to challenge anybody. If they call me with, "Hey, we want to fight Olympians or anybody," I'm there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to turn any offers down.
I rarely have a guy who transitioned from MMA to boxing. Can you describe, I mean, the difference, transitioning, the route you had to adapt, and you understand my question, do you?
Right, but that's like I said. That's why I kind of moved from Louisiana to Texas, because you're only good as people you fight, but you're only going to be as good as the people you train with. If you're at the gym and you're the best person at the gym, well, you're not going to get any better. You're just going to get people better around you. So I always enforce people, or tell people, it's good to cross train. It's good to go to other gyms and learn what works for other people. It might work good for you. You got to soak in what works, what you like. Make your own style. Don't let no one ever change your style up, or make you someone you're not. Um, and that's why, like I said, I moved to Texas, and there's so many pros around here, and you get to you push each other to the next levels, and you actually you know what you got to work on. It just works better when you got other pros working with you. If you're a pro fighter, you got to be around other pros. You can't do it by yourself, because you're not going to get any better or much better.
Would you like to add something, maybe greet someone, maybe say something we missed to say?
Uh, just everybody, just stay ready. Stay in the gym, whatever you're doing. Because once this epidemic of this coronavirus is over, I think everyone's going to be going to the fights. It's going to be sold out. Everybody's just, they're tired of sitting on the couch and watching TV. I think the shows are going to be booming. This this slowed down sports, but I think it's going to be a good thing for it. I think everything's going to be booming after this. So everybody just be at your best condition, your best shape, and we're here to entertain. We're here to fight.
Thank you so much for this lovely interview. Actually, you're the first guy who actually gave an interview but transitioned from MMA to boxing, but strictly transitioned. So,
I would love to dabble again in the cage, but just it's like I said, the the risk doesn't match the reward. But I would love to do some K1 kickboxing. I'd do some Muay Thai. It's just it's their connections. It's who do you know to get in through the door. So that's the hardest thing as a fighter. So guys that are amateur fighting, you got to have somebody on your team. You got to get that support. You got to get the more people you got on your team, I think the farther you'll go in your career.
yeah, I understand. I will post this interview probably nighttime of yours. It will probably around midnight, I'll see, but you can check it in your morning, it will be ready.
All right, thanks, Vladimir.
Alright, thank you so much, Clay, for this interview. Catch you some other time. Have a great day.
All right, brother. God bless.